Dear students, in the previous class we derived the expression for capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor. Epsilon naught A by D, where A is the area of each plate, D is separation between the two plates, epsilon naught is absolute permittivity of free space. So we derived this equation by considering air as the medium between the two plates. In case if air is replaced by some other dielectric medium, then the relative permittivity or dielectric constant of the medium will come here, that is epsilon naught into epsilon R A divided by D. Therefore, the capacitance of this capacitor will increase. So, the effect of dielectric is it increases the capacitance of a capacitor according to this relation. You can also understand the effect of dielectric in another way. Effect of dielectric medium in a capacitor. So we shall consider a parallel plate capacitor. So let A be area of each plate and D be separation between the plates in a capacitor. Q and minus Q be charge on the plates and sigma and minus sigma be surface charge density. On the plates respectively. Therefore, electric field between the plates E naught, it is given by sigma divided by epsilon naught. So this is Q divided by A epsilon naught. Next, potential difference between the plates. V naught, it is equal to E naught into D. So Q A by epsilon naught. So if I find this Q divided by if I find this Q divided by V naught, this is epsilon naught A divided by D. Therefore, capacitance of capacitor with air between the plates, C naught is equal to epsilon naught A divided by D. So the same derivation which we used to find the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor. Now, when a dielectric medium of a dielectric constant K is used between the two plates, what happens? As there is electric field between the two plates, dielectric polarization takes place. Due to the dielectric polarization, there is a net positive charge on one side of the dielectric and net negative charge on another side of dielectric. So, due to polarization, on either side of the dielectric medium, there will be a surface charge density sigma p and minus sigma p. See, earlier I told you that in any dielectric medium, each molecule, it acts like a dipole. So these dipoles are randomly oriented such that the net dipole moment becomes 0. So in the absence of electric field, dipole moment of each dipole cancels with another dipole. Therefore, this dielectric medium has no net dipole moment. But when it is kept in the electric field like this, when it is kept in the electric field, each dipole experiences a torque and get rotated and aligned in the direction of electric field. So, these dipoles, they orient like this. So, when all these dipoles orient in this way, then this dielectric medium is said to be polarized. It is said to be polarized. Due to this polarization, this positive charge and negative charge, they will be almost lying one over other. This positive charge and negative charge, they will also be lying one over other. Therefore, in this reason, the net charge will become 0. The net charge becomes 0. So, there will be a negative charge on this side of the dielectric and there is a net positive charge on this side of the dielectric. So, because of this negative charge, there is a negative surface charge density due to polarization, and here there is a positive surface charge density. So, this type of mechanism takes place. So, due to this polarization, an electric field is developed inside the dielectric medium opposite to this applied field. So, electric field inside the dielectric medium will be in this direction. Applied field is like this, therefore net electric field and potential decreases. So, when this potential decreases, obviously the capacitance will increase. So, mathematically the same thing can be written like this. When a dielectric medium is placed, when a dielectric medium of thickness d is placed between two plates, due to dielectric polarization, let sigma p and sigma p be the induced surface charge density on either side of dielectric medium. Now, electric field between the plates V is equal to sigma minus sigma P divided by epsilon naught. Sigma minus sigma P divided by epsilon naught. Therefore, potential difference between the plates V is equal to E into D, sigma minus sigma P divided by epsilon naught into D. But this sigma, it is directly proportional to E naught and it is directly proportional to sigma P. Therefore, sigma minus sigma P, it is directly proportional to sigma. Therefore, sigma divided by sigma minus sigma P, this is equal to this sigma divided by sigma minus sigma P, this is equal to K, which is dielectric constant of the medium between the two plates. Dielectric constant of the medium. Now, if you rearrange this equation, this one, therefore, this sigma minus sigma P, it can be written as sigma into K from this equation. Sigma minus sigma P can be written as sigma divided by K. Therefore, this V, this term, it can be written as sigma divided by K, this one. So, therefore, this equation V, it can be written as sigma by K epsilon naught into D. So, this becomes equal to QD divided by epsilon naught KA. So, if I write this Q divided by V, this becomes epsilon naught K A divided by D. What is this Q by V? This is the capacitance of the capacitor with the dielectric. Capacitor with the dielectric C is equal to epsilon naught K A by D. That means instead of air, when you use a dielectric medium of dielectric constant K between the two plates of a parallel plate capacitor, capacitance will increase K times. Understand? This is the capacitance of air capacitor. That means when air is used as the medium. This is the capacitance when a dielectric medium is used. So, if I find the ratio of these two, this is C divided by C naught, this K is equal to C divided by C naught. Here see, this can be written as epsilon, this can be written as K times C naught. So, K is equal to C divided by C naught. So, from this you can give the definition of dielectric constant. So, dielectric constant of a medium is equal to ratio of capacitance of the capacitor with dielectric to the capacitance of the same capacitor with air as dielectric. This is an important definition for 2 marks in the annual examination. Define dielectric constant of a medium in terms of capacitance of a capacitor. Then you need to write this equation. So, therefore, dielectric constant of a medium is the ratio of capacitance of the capacitor with the dielectric to the capacitance of same capacitor with the air as a dielectric. So this definition can be asked in the examination for 2 marks. You can expect this derivation for 5 marks. What is the effect of, explain the effect of dielectric medium in a capacitor? If it is asked like this for 5 marks, then first you have to write this part. When air is considered as the medium between the 2 plates, capacitance is given by this relation. When a dielectric medium is introduced due to dielectric polarization, here the electric field, it becomes sigma minus sigma p divided by epsilon naught. So this sigma minus sigma p can be written as sigma divided by k, therefore you will get this relation. Here you can understand that this sigma minus sigma p note, sigma minus sigma p, it is always less than sigma. Therefore sigma divided by sigma minus sigma p, it will be always greater than 1. Therefore dielectric constant of a medium, it is always greater than 1. So for any medium other than air, k is greater than 1. Therefore when you introduce a medium other than air between the 2 plates, obviously capacitance will increase. So this is all about effect of dielectric medium. Numerically you can show the introduction of a dielectric medium increases the capacitance. Conceptually also you can tell that due to dielectric polarization, the net electric field between the 2 plates decreases, thereby the potential decreases and hence capacitance will increase. You can also explain that way. See this capacitor, it is a very useful device in electronic circuits. Capacitors are used for varieties of purposes. For example, in tuning circuits of radio and television, to tune different frequencies we use capacitors. And also to avoid sparking in electronic circuits we use capacitors. So like that capacitors find varieties of applications. So in electronic circuits, when a capacitor of required capacitance is not available, you can get the required capacitance by connecting the available capacitors into certain combinations. Understand? So when a capacitor of required capacitance is not available, by taking available capacitors and connecting them into certain combinations, we can obtain the required capacitance. So to understand that how the capacitance varies, you need to understand the combination of capacitors. Combination of capacitors. So basically you come across 2 types of combinations in electronic circuits. One is series combination, another one is called parallel combination. First we shall take series combination of capacitors or capacitors in series. Capacitors in series. See this word series connection means connected end to end. when number of circuit elements are connected end to end, they are said to be in series. Here I take 3 different capacitors. So this is one capacitor of capacitance C1. This is another capacitor of capacitance C2. This is another capacitor of capacitance C3. There are 3 individual capacitors. See, when the second end of the first capacitor is connected to first end of the second capacitor. So this is the second plate. The second plate of the first capacitor, it is connected to the first plate of the second capacitor. Then these two are said to be connected end to end. Then these two are said to be in series. Similarly, when the second plate of the second capacitor is connected to the first plate of the third capacitor, like this. These two are also connected end to end, so these two are also said to be in series. So overall, all these 3 capacitors are connected end to end, therefore this is called as a series combination of capacitors. This is called as a series combination of capacitors. So AB, it is a series combination of capacitors. To this series combination, let us apply a potential difference V by means of a battery. So with this battery, I apply a potential difference V. Because of this applied potential difference, by the positive potential, electrons are pulled. See, this is a metal plate. A metal plate consists of plenty of free electrons. Under the influence of this applied positive potential, these free electrons are pulled out from the metal plate and they will be transferred to this plate. Understand? So when I apply a potential difference like this, because of this higher potential, free electrons from this plate, they are drifted to this plate. So under steady state, if this plate acquires a charge Q, that means due to loss of electrons, this gets a positive charge. So if this gets a plus charge Q, these electrons being transferred to here, this will get a minus charge Q. Because whatever number of electrons are removed from the first plate of C1, they are added to the second plate of C3. So the loss of charge here becomes equal to gain of charge here. So under steady state, if plus Q is the charge on this plate, then the charge on this plate will become minus Q. So when this plate gets a charge plus Q, obviously a charge minus Q will be induced on the inner side of the second plate, and a charge plus Q will be induced on this plate by induction. Because this conductor, it being in the electric field of this plate, a charge minus Q is induced here and a charge plus Q is induced here. Again, this part, it is in the electric field of this charge, this plate. So a charge minus Q is induced here and a charge plus Q is induced here. That means when number of capacitors are connected in series like this, whatever may be their capacitance, irrespective of that, all capacitors acquires the same quantity of charge. Understand? In series connection, charge on all capacitors is same. ಇವು ಮೂರರದು ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟನ್ಸ್ ಏನೇ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಇವು ಮೂರು ಸೀರೀಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾಗ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಇವು ಮೂರಕ್ಕೂ ಸೇಮ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಆನ್ ದಮ್ ಈಸ್ ಸೇಮ್, but capacitance is different, C1, C2, C3. Since C is equal to Q by V, charge on all of them is same, that means Q is a constant, C is inversely proportional to V. That means more is the capacitance, that capacitor gets less potential difference across it. So C1, C2, C3, they are three capacitors. So the applied potential difference V, it will be divided among these three capacitors in the inverse ratio of their capacitance. Applied potential difference is distributed among these three capacitors in the inverse ratio of their capacitance. That means the one which has got low capacity, it will get more potential. Another one which has got high capacitance, it will get lesser potential, like that. So overall, the applied potential difference, it will be distributed in the inverse ratio of their capacitance. So let V1, V2, V3 be the potential difference across C1, C2 and C3. Since the same potential difference being distributed here, this V becomes equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರೋ ಅದೇ ಇವು ಮೂರಕ್ಕೂ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ. ಯಾವ ಥರ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಇನ್ ದ ಇನ್ವರ್ಸ್ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ಆಫ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟೆನ್ಸ್. Therefore this V becomes equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. You remember this basic characteristic of series connection. In series connection, all capacitors acquire the same charge, but the potential difference across each capacitor, it is inversely proportional to capacitance. That means the applied potential difference is distributed among the three capacitors according to the inverse ratio of their capacitance. See, while solving the numerical problems, you need to understand the basic characteristics of the series connection. Remember, unless you understand this point, you will not be able to solve numerical problems. So this is the characteristic of series connection. C1, C2 and C3 be capacitance of three capacitors connected in series. Series means end to end. Keep this in mind. When a potential difference V is applied across the series combination, all capacitors acquire the same charge Q, but applied potential difference is distributed amongst the capacitors in the inverse ratio of their capacitance. Let V1, V2 and V3 be potential difference across C1, C2 and C3 respectively. Therefore, this V1 is equal Q by C1, V2 is equal Q by C2, and V3 is equal Q by C3, since C is equal to Q divided by V. C is equal to Q by V, therefore V becomes equal to Q by C. So you get this relation. Since V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3, so if I add these three terms, Q is common, it is 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. This is the expression for applied potential difference across the combination. Now, if this series combination is replaced by an equivalent capacitor, if series combination is replaced by equivalent capacitor, equivalent capacitor means it is that single capacitor which will produce the same effect as the combination on replacing the combination. So, equivalent capacitor means it is that single capacitor which will produce the same effect as the combination on replacing the combination. That means whether you use the combination of series combination of capacitors or a single equivalent capacitor, the net effect must be same. So equivalent capacitor produces the same effect as the combination. That means to the combination whatever potential you applied, for the equivalent capacitor also, if you give the same potential difference, it gets the same quantity of charge. Say this is an equivalent capacitor. So this equivalent capacitor, it produces the same effect as the combination means, if I apply the same potential difference here, V, if I apply the same potential difference V, this should get the same charge here. ಈ ಕಾಂಬಿನೇಷನ್ಗೆ ನೀವು ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಈ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತೋ, ಈಕ್ವಿವೆಲೆಂಟ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟರ್ಗೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಯಾಕಂತಂದರೆ ಈಕ್ವಿವೆಲೆಂಟ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟರ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕಾಂಬಿನೇಷನ್ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೋ ಅದೇ ಥರ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಸಚ್ ಎ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟರ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಎಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಿವೆಲೆಂಟ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟರ್. Now we shall assume that let Cs be the capacitance of this equivalent capacitor. See, these two are equal. So if Cs is the capacitance of equivalent capacitor of series combination, then this V becomes equal to Q divided by Cs. So this is the expression for applied potential difference for the combination. This is the expression for applied potential difference for equivalent capacitor. Both being producing the same effect, you can compare these two. On comparing 1 and 2, this Q divided by Cs is equal Q into 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. So this common term you can strike off. Therefore 1 by Cs is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. This is the final equation for effective capacitance of series combination. See, in this equation, you can make out that reciprocal of effective capacitance of series combination or equivalent capacitance of series combination. ಎರಡು ಒಂದೇ. effective capacitance ಅಂದ್ರೂ equivalent capacitance ಅಂದ್ರೂ ಎರಡು ಒಂದೇ. So the reciprocal of effective capacitance of series combination is equal to the sum of reciprocals of capacitances of the capacitors in the series combination. Understand? So reciprocal of effective capacitance of series combination is equal to sum of reciprocals of capacitances of the capacitors in the series combination. Now, if you consider any mathematical equation of this form, if you consider any equation of this form, the value of this term, it will be less than least among these three terms. ಸೊ ಈ ಫಾರಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಯಾವುದೇ ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕಲ್ ಈಕ್ವೇಷನ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಇದರದ್ದು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇವು ಮೂರರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತನೂ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್? ದ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ಸಿ ಎಸ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಲೆಸ್ ದ್ಯಾನ್ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಅಮಾಂಗ್ C1, C2 ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ C3. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ when number of capacitors are connected in series, the effective capacitance decreases. So series combination decreases the effective capacitance. And further, the effective capacitance will be less than the least among the individual capacitors in the series combination. Say for example, if I take three capacitors, 1 microfarad, 100 microfarad, 1000 microfarad, sorry, 1, 10, 100. I take three capacitors, 1 microfarad, 10 microfarad and 100 microfarad. If I calculate the effective capacitance of this combination by substituting 1, 10 and 100, it comes to be less than 1. So like that, series combination reduces the effective capacitance. You keep this in mind. If you go through old question papers, you will find these questions, capacitors in series and capacitors in parallel, for 3 marks. So when two capacitors are connected in series, find the effective capacitance, means you take only 2. Question ನಲ್ಲಿ 2 capacitors are connected in series ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಎರಡೇ capacitors ತಗೋರಿ, ಅವಾಗ 1/CS is equal to 1/C1 plus 1/C2 ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತದೆ. 3 capacitors ಅಂದರೆ 3 ತಗೋರಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ capacitors ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದರೆ you can take any number of capacitors. Suppose if n identical capacitors are connected in series, n identical capacitors of capacitance C are connected in series, what is the effective capacitance ಅಂತ 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? 1/C plus 1/C plus 1/C ಅಂದರೆ n/C ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. 1/CS is equal to n/C, so CS becomes equal to C divided by n. C divided by n. Similarly, when 2 10 microfarad capacitors are connected in series, what is the effective capacitance? It becomes 5. So like that, simple questions can be asked in part A for 1 mark in the board examination. So this is all about the series combination. So first you consider this combination, charge is same, potential is distributed, so you will get this equation. If I take equivalent capacitor, this is the equation for equivalent capacitor. As both produce the same effect, I can compare them, so finally you will get this equation. In the same way, we can also find effective capacitance in parallel combination. Capacitors in parallel. See, parallel connection means when number of circuit elements are connected between two common points, all are said to be in parallel. So, number of circuit elements, they are connected between two common points, they are said to be in parallel. Here I take 3 capacitors. So, this is C1, there is one capacitor C1, here there is another capacitor C2, here there is one more capacitor C3. There are 3 different capacitors here, C1, C2 and C3, like this. Now, here this C1 is connected at the point A and B, like this. C1 is connected at AB, C2 is also connected at AB, C3 is also connected at AB. So, all the 3 capacitors, they are connected between the same 2 common points. So, AB becomes the parallel combination of capacitors. To this parallel combination, let us apply a potential difference V by using a battery, like this. So, when you apply a potential difference across this parallel combination, it is as if the potential difference is applied across each capacitor. Here see, C1 is directly connected to this battery, C2 is also directly connected to the battery, C3 is also directly connected to the battery. That means the potential difference across all the 3 capacitors will be the same, V1, V and V. So, in parallel combination, along with the capacitors, cell is also connected to the same common point. Therefore, the potential difference across each capacitor will become same as that of the potential difference due to the battery, that is V. Further, because of this equation, for all capacitors this V is constant, same. Therefore, C proportional to Q. C proportional to Q means the capacitor with a larger capacitance gets more charge. So, here among C1, C2, C3, more or whichever is having larger value, that the capacitor gets more charge. So, capacitors being different here, charge is different. So, let this plate get a charge plus Q1 and this get minus Q1. Because of this potential difference, electrons are drifted like this, transferred to the second plate. Therefore, it gets a plus Q1 charge, this gets a minus Q1 charge. Similarly, this gets a minus Q2, plus Q2, minus Q2, plus Q3, minus Q3. So, characteristics of a parallel connection are: the first one, all the capacitors must be connected between same 2 common points. Second one, potential difference across all the capacitors is same. Third one, the charge acquired by each capacitor is directly proportional to its capacitance. Charge acquired by each capacitor is proportional to its capacitance. So, total charge on the parallel combination is equal to Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3. Total charge on the parallel combination is Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3. So, C1, C2 and C3B capacitances of 3 capacitors connected in parallel Parallel means connected across common points. This is what you mean by parallel. When a potential difference V is applied across the parallel combination, potential difference across each capacitor is V, but charge on each capacitor is proportional to their capacitance. Potential difference across each capacitor is V, but the charge on each capacitor is proportional to their capacitance. Now, let Q1, Q2 and Q3 be charge on C1, C2 and C3 respectively. Therefore, this Q1, it is C1V, Q2 C2V and Q3 C3V, because C is equal to Q by V, so Q is equal to C into V. Therefore, total charge on parallel combination Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3. If I add these three terms, this V is common, so it is C1 plus C2 plus C3. This is equation 1. So this is the expression for total charge on the parallel combination of capacitors. Now, if this combination is replaced by an equivalent capacitor, then equivalent capacitor will produce the same effect as the combination. That means, for the equivalent capacitor, when I apply a potential difference V, it should get a charge Q, because total charge on this is Q. So if I take this equivalent capacitor like this, for this equivalent capacitor, when I apply same potential difference as applied here, then it must get the same charge as that of this combination. So equivalent capacitor ge combination ge ಎಷ್ಟು potential difference apply ಮಾಡಿದರೋ ಅಷ್ಟೇ apply ಮಾಡಿದರೆ combination ಮೇಲೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ it produces the same effect. Then only it can be called as equivalent capacitor. So we shall assume that let Cp be the effective capacitance of this parallel combination. So if Cp is the equivalent capacitance of parallel combination, then the charge on this parallel combination can be written as Cp into V. So this is equation 2. Charge on the parallel combination is Cp into V. Since parallel combination and equivalent capacitor produce the same effect, this charge should become equal to this charge. Then when you compare these two equations, on comparing 1 and 2, CPV is equal to V into C1 plus C2 plus C3. You can strike off this term V. Therefore, Cp is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3. That means when number of capacitors are connected in parallel, effective capacitance of a parallel combination is equal to sum of the capacitances of the capacitors in the parallel combination. That means the capacitances add up in parallel connection. That means the capacitance increases in parallel combination. So, a parallel combination increases effective capacitance. Now, you try to make out the differences between series capacitors and parallel capacitors. When capacitors are connected end to end, they are said to be in series. When capacitors are connected between two common points, they are said to be in parallel. So, in case of series connection, all capacitors acquires the same charge, but applied potential difference will be distributed among the individual capacitors in the inverse ratio of their capacitance. Whereas in case of a parallel combination, potential difference applied across the parallel combination will be same as that across each capacitor, but charge on each capacitor, it is proportional to capacitance. The last one is series combination decreases the effective capacitance, whereas a parallel combination increases the effective capacitance. So, by having these ideas, you can solve any type of numerical problem given in case of series and parallel combinations. So, we shall continue from here in the next class.